Here we are. We are live and welcome to another episode of Explode Your Coaching Business Show. Here is your host, Simone Vincenzi from GTeX. And tonight we are here with the one and the only Michael Serwa. Brilliant. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for the introduction. Michael is a top and life coach here in London, and he works only with the winners. He works only with people that are already successful or people that are really committed to it, that already put their mind to it, and they just want to take their next step to reach their success. So, well, Michael, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me, and I apologize for the delay. I promise it wasn't all of my diva behaviors, because they called me a diva for some reason. I was actually, I'm not a technically savvy person, I was trying to get in from 10 to 8 already. It took me 10 minutes.
Mate, don't worry, we are in, and tonight we are really talking about how can we grow a top-end life coaching business? How can we attract top quality clients? Mm-hmm. Because I think I did a Facebook Live before.
Yeah.
Earlier, and I said, not everyone needs to be a top-end life coach. Not everyone, and it's not for everyone. But there are some people that are a bit diva like you. So for all the divas out there, that's actually a great market. So the question that we would love to ask you is, before we go into your, just a bit to know more about yourself.
Output and stuff. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Before we start talking about that, the question that I have for you is, why did you decide to become a top-end life coach? What made you going down that route?
First of all, nobody becomes a high-end life coach before becoming a life coach, right?
Right.
You don't go from nothing. I'm gonna be saying some things. I don't know the audience, so I don't know what out of the things I'll be talking about obvious for you or not. So I'm gonna assume that some of you know very little or nothing about coaching business. So forgive me, those of you who's already been in the game for a while, like Simone, that I'm covering the basics sometimes. But yeah, it's every life coach out there, including Tony Robbins, has started with the first client. And the first client is never high-end client, because why would a high-end client pay you high-end fee if you're just a baby, if you're infant, right? You could be successful in another area, but unless this other area was similar to life coaching, I started £20 an hour, and I knew that the reality is that I knew from the start I want to be the best. So even when I wasn't confident as a coach yet, even though I was confident as a person,
yeah,
27, I was charging £20 per hour. But I knew that my ultimate goal is to be the highest paid life coach in the UK. And what I mean by that is also being the best life coach. But the money is the one thing we can compare one bank account to another. That's how I'll know I'm definitely the best when I make the most money from it.
So how long ago was that? So you were 27. So now it was 1 year ago, right? Because you're 27.
Yeah. Thank you.
Unless you're using a very good facial cream.
Expensive moisturizers, that's the secret. A bit of Botox. No, so 2010, I was 27, I discovered coaching as a career. I've only launched my website in October 2011. So 4.5 years ago, I was charging £20 an hour, and I had a very simple website that looked like shit. But I didn't have the money. I was 5,000 in debt when I started my coaching business. But from the very beginning, I knew what I want, and I knew exactly what I want. And I knew, as I was saying to this woman in my, I used to have this PR agency. Sorry, I got distracted there with some comments. I can't be looking at that,
Don't worry, we're going to. That's why Artie is here, because Artie is going to make the introduction to people, and also if someone has any question, Artie is going to make sure that everyone can answer. So Artie, don't worry about that.
Stay with us. No matter what I say, stay with us. What I was saying, I started small. There was no budget, but there was a clear goal of becoming the best. And I've been waking up with this thought every day for the last, since 2010, since I discovered that as a career. So that's very important. If you want to be the best at something, it's very important that you need to fucking want it.
Yes.
Most people never get the best or very good at something because they never make a decision of becoming very good at something or the best. So I've never been smarter than most people. I've never been had better people skills necessarily than most people. I have good people skills and I'm confident, I'm smart, but I'm not exceptional in any of these areas. What I think I'm exceptional at is the way I talk.
You play on your handsomeness. That's what you played on.
Yeah, listen, you gotta sleep with a couple of people to get to where I am, you know. But like the guys, I didn't enjoy as much. But fuck it, you know, Elton John.
Hey, yo, anything.
So now that if you have an opportunity to sleep with Elton John to enhance your career, you just fucking do it. You get drunk, then you get 3 months of therapy to get it out of your system. So, as I was saying, you know, this woman from this PR agency asked me, "What's my goal?" Like when we met first time 3 years ago, and she said, "You know, how do you see yourself in the future? What's your ultimate goal?" And I looked her straight in the eye, and I said, "I'm going to be the best life coach in the UK. And there is nothing I'm not prepared to do to get there, except for sleeping with a man. That's the only thing I'm not prepared to do on a series."
And then that happened. And then
Simone, we went out. We were Soho. We got drunk. I stopped using that again. Okay.
So now the question is: so you started.
Enjoyed. Your calm face was indicating that you enjoyed it. Okay.
So the question now is: you started small, and then you started charging and charging more and charging more. So now that's a great starting point because, as you said, when you're starting something, whatever you want to be the highest paid life coach, you got to start somewhere.
That's it.
So there is no point if you never had a client to start charging 2,000, 3,000 pounds, because you will be a coach that charges 3,000, 4,000 pounds, but without a client. So
Exactly.
you got to build your name and reputation. So what can you tell? Because I know that you've been spending a lot of time and a lot of resources and energies in building your reputation and your name in the market as a top-end life coach. So in terms of name and reputation, why is that so important? And also, how can someone build their name and reputation like you have done to increase and grow their coaching businesses?
Okay. The first, nice. You still got it. You still got it. Even in such a late hour of the day. So one of the biggest mistakes I see business people in general making, or new business owners. There's a reason why over 90% of businesses don't make over 3 years. It's not because people are not smart enough. It's not because people don't know the language that they need to communicate in. It's not that they don't know how to talk to people. It's just they're making certain mistakes. And one of the basic mistakes I found is to look at the road to success as a sprint as opposed to marathon. It's never a sprint. It's never a sprint for anyone. Any successful company, any successful brand, any successful person, if you go back and you study how they've started, there's not such thing like overnight success. So I know at least one coach who got so inspired with how much I charge that even though he was 22, very passionate, you know, very driven, very hardworking, but he was so inspired with how much I charge, he decided to charge a lot as well. But what he didn't know, and I did tell him what he didn't listen to or didn't take into his consideration, is that I was charging £20 per hour for the first 6 months of my coaching business.
Yeah.
Then I was charging £50 per hour for the next 6 months, £75 per hour for the next 6 months, £100 per hour for the fourth 6 months. So for the first 2 years, I was either below what coaches charge in the UK, which is £70 to £100 an hour on average, or just on that line. But because the way I priced myself allowed me to coach 20 people at any given time from the start. Nice. Now, before you sit in front of the prospect and make a proposal for 20K for a coaching program, you better have a few thousand coaching hours under your belt and a few hundred initial consultations under your belt.
That's brilliant, and this is something that we are going to tap into in the next question on what is the importance of building up hours. And Artie, I know we have a question from Ola, and I don't know if Ola, you want to come actually and ask this question. live, so we can actually we have, there we are. Let me get you to join in. Then what I'll do, I'll go out and I'll join in from my laptop again. So,
okay, try that.
Ola, you ask the question, Artie, you facilitate that. I'll go out and I join in from the laptop again.
Excellent.
All right, see you in a minute.
We're gonna miss you, Simone. Not really.
Oh no, don't miss him. Let's just wait for Ola to join to join that. So the question is, was it hard? What was the question, Artie? Okay, Ola is in.
There you go.
Do you want me to say the question again?
Yeah, you can ask him. You can ask him straight.
Ask me straight, baby. Come on.
Ask him straight.
I need to make sure I do not pause. Was it hard to increase your price? And did you increase the value you were giving to your clients?
Absolutely. So I could only increase the price, and even though I knew my value was going up and up and up, every 6 months I could, okay, I'm getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
Within my craft. Every time before I pitch my new fees for the first time, there's this element of nervousness because I've never pitched them before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, it's stretching my comfort zone, and there's some nervousness, not so much nervousness, anxiety around it. But it's just one day I would wake up and like, okay, you know what? It doesn't feel right to charge this much anymore. I'm gonna be charging more, and I have this moments. I've had it maybe 7 or 8 times when I was increasing my kind of entry level fee.
Yeah.
7, 8 times so far. I had this moment like, you know what? I offer more value than what I'm charging for. It doesn't feel right. So it's something you want to rely on more than thinking and knowing is the feeling. It has to feel right.
Yeah.
So by all means, you can start coaching and start charging £100 an hour. I know coaches who've done it. And if it feels right for you, that's fine.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If it doesn't feel right for you, it doesn't feel right. It will not feel right for the prospect.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is not that you're going to communicate it on a verbal level, obviously, but on a sub-communication level, the prospect will sense that you don't own that fee.
Yeah.
You don't own it. You have to own it. So when I was charging £20 an hour, I was anxious about even asking for that, believe it or not. But then I got to the point when I owned it, I was like, £20.
Yeah.
And then when £20 didn't feel right anymore, I felt like, you know, I'm undercharging myself. I'm undervaluing myself. I was like, okay, £50. And then £50, I got comfortable with that. Okay, 75, and that's how it went from £20 an hour to up to £2,000 per session right now.
Yeah.
With clients, you know. Do I deliver necessarily? What's the 1,000, 100? Do I necessarily deliver 100 times more value to the client? So £2,000 versus £20? No, it's impossible to be better than I was 4 years ago by 100 times.
Yeah, but you put a value on what you were doing.
Exactly. But because, you know, Simone was talking about the branding, because not only I was growing as a coach, I was always very, not always, when I first started, it was just about coaching and making money and learning the craft. But for the last 2.5 years at least, I was very aware of the branding. I know this is one thing that makes me stand out from majority of coaches out there, because most of coaches out there don't focus enough on the branding.
Yeah.
And it's the brand that makes people spend more money than a competitive product.
Yes.
I need to have a brand. I need to give people a reason to justify spending, let's say, 5K in coaching with me versus £500 with somebody else.
Yeah.
I can't prove them anything when we first meet. I meet them for the first time often. They don't know me. They saw my website. They saw some YouTube stuff. They read my book, perhaps. That's all they know. And here I am asking for 10 times more money than the average coach out there. So what helps them to justify spending so much more is the brand. That's why people are happy to pay extra price for iPhone, even though it makes phone calls just as well as fucking Samsung. Yeah, the mark.
You say marketing is just as important, if not more important.
Yeah, if you brand the product right, it's like you can buy a pair of shoes for 70 pounds in Zara. You can buy almost identical pair of shoes in Prada for 700.
Yeah.
And people, the good thing about Simone, I've missed you. You left me with 2 women. That's not cool because I was a little bit nervous. You know me, I'm full of women.
Yeah, no, I know where this can end, so that's why I popped in just to prevent that to happen. So
we're talking about high end.
Yeah, I've been following. I've been listening, and I definitely agree with you when you're talking about your branding and how important is it, and also when you were talking about it has to feel right, because some of the tips that I can share on how I've been increasing my prices from free. Like I charge for free for 2 years of coaching. 2 years for free. I charge hundreds of people for free. And when now I'm charging £10,000 with my clients that work one-to-one with me, and it feels a bargain. Like when it feels inside that if someone pays me 10 grand, it's actually a bargain for them.
Yeah.
And so what I'm always looking at, what is the number that I know inside that I'm over delivering for the number that they pay. So for me, it didn't happen overnight. Like I had to go through my money stories and all that a lot. But now the more I've been growing to myself, the more my technical skills are growing, the more in my niche, the more I'm becoming the best in what I can do. Then I know that the client that are working with me, that can accelerate like by at least 5 to 6 years their journeys. And so it feels that you were saying, Michael, it just feels it's a bargain. Like you pay me this amount, it's actually a bargain for you.
Yeah, that's how it's funny you said that, because I was thinking that today morning on my way to the gym, for some reason, I was like, fucking hell, even these 20K proposals that I make, it's a fucking bargain. Yeah, because when you look at what we do, you really have to experience that for yourself. You take somebody for 6 months, whether 3 months, 12 months, and see the difference that it makes in their lives. So that's like, you can't put a price on it.
Yeah.
Having said that, so we know it as coaches. We know that coaching is powerful if you have any experience, but we still need to have a brand. Like if Simone was just like, hi, I'm Simone. Oh, hi. How much is it? 10K. Huh? No, it took him years.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Here it is. Here we are. They take it out from the pocket generally when I say that.
Yeah.
So here's 10K. Hey, for you. Cash.
But you build a brand and people go, yeah, of course it's this much. It's a brand. And people trust more the products or services that are more expensive.
Yeah.
Even if they're not necessarily better. And now when your perceived value is higher than everybody else's value, and you actually deliver the goods, which is important, that's how you build a long-lasting brand. And also, speaking of branding, I'm very passionate about the whole idea of branding.
Yeah.
The consistency is very important. So
yeah.
Whether you meet me anywhere you meet me, whether you see any of my YouTube stuff, whether you go on my website, read my book or interact with my book, go to any of that social media, you will have the same experience. You will have the same experience. Just like going to the Apple store anywhere in the world, or going on the Apple website, or playing with the Apple product, you have the same experience. And that's why the big brands, and I'm not comparing myself to Apple, maybe to Virgin, but not Apple yet. That's why it's so important to be congruent everywhere, even with the picture. If you are a professional, you gotta have the same picture everywhere.
So now the question
I don't have any more pictures. It doesn't matter. It has to be the same picture.
Now the question that I want to ask you is, okay, we have been talking about branding, and guys, if you are watching this live, make sure you tweet, and if you can share it on Facebook, make sure you share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, so we can have more people asking this question and getting exposed to this concept, because there are a lot of people struggling out there, which they just keep doing their same wrong thing and they think they're doing things right. So that's why we are doing this show, to just raise this awareness. Now the question is about branding. So let's say I want to brand myself as a top high-end life coach. What kind of branding would I need? What are the best practices what do you do to do that? What do you do to make sure that people have the same experience with you, so that other people that want to go down that route of high-end coaching then can just like follow those steps or get some ideas.
Okay, so it's kind of getting back to what we started to talk about, because something I wanted to say is that before you become a successful high-end life coach, before you even become unsuccessful high-end life coach, you need to become a shit-hot, fully functional life coach. You don't go from nothing to high-end. You need to go from nothing to just being good at what you do. So on the branding front, and this whole conversation about branding might be a bit too early for most of you, but that's something to remember for later in your career. Until you make 30, 40K a year from coaching, year in, year out, forget about branding. Don't need to worry about branding. I didn't worry about branding when I first started. The one question, when I talk to my apprentices or associates or any coaches that I talk to, I said, the only question you want to ask yourself for the first year or two is where my next client is going to come from. Not how fancy my website should be, or how fancy, show me your credit cards. And should I write a book? Forget about books. Forget about fancy business cards. Forget about fancy websites. Forget about anything fancy. You got to hustle your ass off to get 30, 40K a year. You don't need to worry about the brand, because you see, you only need to worry about the brand when you start charging more than everybody else. So up to the level of charging 75 to 100 pounds an hour, you don't need to worry about the brand. Because you're a commodity. You are very similar to everybody else. So you just need to go for the numbers, for the quantity, and have meetings with lots of people, like Simone did. I'll be like, but I can't find the paying clients. What about non-paying clients? Can't you find them? If you can't find someone to coach for free, you fucked. You requalify and become an accountant. No disrespect to accountants.
But that brings me to the next question that I asked, which was about, like, what do you think about if you do it, if you service a client for free, is that client lost as a paying client down the line?
Not necessarily. I have one of my apprentices, Dilara, she just signed up a client based in freaking Bulgaria that she was coaching for free to pay her £50 a session. And I say Bulgaria because £50 in Bulgaria, because I'm from Poland, it's not much of a difference. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But she was, the thing is, I think Simone did this mistake. If he did, he wouldn't be where he is today. You gotta serve those pro bono clients, just like I serve my 20K clients. Because one thing I can guarantee you, I'm not any different my 20K clients for a program, not for a session, to the way I was my £20 per hour clients. I'm not different. I'm giving my fucking everything. And if I have a great day, I give them so much. They go like this. If I have a normal day, I give them as much as I can at any point. And there's nothing I'm not gonna do for them within reason. But if you get greedy, I think, okay, I'm not gonna. The £20 client or pro bono clients is just a waste of time. It's just that, you really gotta show your commitment. And I promise you, if you put yourself out there, you start to build this reputation of the hustler, of someone who lives and breathes this profession of coaching. The money will follow. I wasn't really focusing on money per se. I was focusing on where my next client is going to come from, how many clients I can work with. It wasn't about, don't get me wrong, it's never been about changing the world. I'll change the world and touch every single human being on the planet. I'm not a fucking Gandhi, okay? I'm a businessman. But a businessman who happened to love the vehicle, the platform called coaching. So, I have a love for business. I have a love for not so much money, but what money can buy. I have love for people, but also the extreme love for the profession of coaching. And when you develop this love for whatever it is, it shines through. You don't need to talk about it. Like I have a consultation with someone, and I have 200 consultations a year on average. I don't say, I love coaching. Coaching is the best. I'm telling that to you because we are coaches. We're talking about coaching. But people or not, or
I was talking with Raghav. I was talking with Raghav, and he said he was with some friends, and they were all coaches like Thomas and Lara, and they were all in the same room. And I said, okay, let's not talk about coaching. and let's not talk about business. They say about like there was at least 10 minutes of awkward silence that they didn't know what the heck you're talking. So they started, yeah, today is actually the weather was nice. And when you know that you're talking about the weather, you know that there is nothing else. So I agree with you. It's like sometimes
some people talk about football,
right?
But I think that's the same. I think that's the same in any industry. Like if you want to be successful, I think you have to love what you do.
I love it.
Like you can't just go, oh, today I'm going to be a coach, or today I'm going to be a photographer.
Exactly. What industry are you in, Ola?
I'm a photographer.
Right. So the question I would love to ask you is now from what Michael was saying, and then I'm going to leave the space open to other people to come and join. What is something that you could do to get either like a better quality clients, just applying the principles, because these are what Michael is sharing are principles. So
Yeah.
we're applying the principles behind what he's doing. So what is something that
I'm probably at the point that Michael was talking about. I'm at the point where I've done my foundation. I'm not the same as the average photographer.
Yeah.
I've found my niche. I basically help women to exist in photography. So I give them an experience from start to finish, makeover, showing their inner beauty. They have a day, even if they don't buy any photos, they still have a day that they'll probably remember for the rest of their lives. But I need to basically tell that story to more people to get more clients. So I kind of know what I need to do. So I was just coming on to kind of see if I could take some of what Michael was saying and apply it to my industry.
That's brilliant. And also, as Michael was saying, is talking about branding. Look at the way how you brand yourself, where you do hang around. Because I think that like something that I was just observed, Michael, on and I've been I'm always looking. I'm passionate about this, so I'm always looking what other people are doing, and also I love stalking Michael. So this is just another thing. But one observing Michael is doing, as he says, is always consistent. So you see that. Once is positioning himself as high-end coach, so he has a beautiful apartment in Mayfair, and you see the way he's dressed is always on point. I don't know if he's iron his own short or he's get them ironed, but no, he gets them ironed. But the shoes are always polished, and then the places where he hangs around with and the people he hangs around with, they are all part of his brand. So that's something really also for you important to consider of where do you want to take your business? Where are you hanging around? Who are the people you're spending your time with? And sharing, the more you share about that, the more your value will and not that it will value will increase, other people will see that value. Because we just want to see. Like people are very visual, they want to see, right? So we have that. Well, thank you very much, Ola. It's been great.
No problem. Thank you.
Question, make sure
nice to talk to you, Michael.
Say hello.
I will. I'll say hello to Shola.
Hello, both of you.
Okay, bye.
I'll
tell her you love me more, though. I'll tell her you love me more.
No.
We are recording. I'm sorry, Michael. All right, see you later.
Right, we've got another question here. Is there a limit to what you could charge? What is the end game?
Do you want James? Do you want to pop in, or are you with the baby? Because I know that James is with joins our blog. Sometimes this is a small toddler, so I don't know if he wants to pop in and ask, or it's just.
I won't get offended if you're shy.
He's not shy at all. This man is on freaking fire.
Yeah, but when it comes to cameras, confident people get shy. I saw it.
All right. Okay. Well, okay. So the question is there a limit to what you can charge? What is the end game?
There's no limit. This is one of the beautiful things about coaching. There's no ceiling. There is no body. There is no organization. There is no trend that is telling us how much we can charge. And I love that. Always being a rebel, I love the fact that I'm in the industry where I create the rules.
Yeah.
I can coach how I want. I can work with whoever I want. I can charge whatever the fuck I want. And I can create a one-session program. I can create a three-year program, whatever. Not like I've created one, but I'm saying, I love the flexibility that we have. So to answer the first part of the question, the answer is no. Second part of the question is, I'm aiming for £1 million turnover per year. That's my ultimate goal. Why? I think there's very little things I cannot do on £1 million a year. I think I'll be comfortable. You know what? Fuck it. That's fine.
That's nice. Okay, so that's the end game. And yes, as I said, there is no limit in what you can charge. You can start with as again, is your business, and the more value you add, the more
money you can make.
The money you make. And obviously, also in the industry, there are different let's say sector, like subsections of the coaching industry that pay more and that pay less. So for example, if you're helping other people with their business, generally is not the golden rule, because there are a lot of health coaches that charge 100,000 a year, right, for a client, but for one single person. But generally, like the more business, the more money you help your client to make, the more you are paid, because it's tangible. Like the challenge when you change a life and you get people maybe to become better and more confident is that there is no monetary result in there. I mean, just immediate. But if you say you work with me, I get you this amount of client, then there is that thing. So the question that I have for you actually is that if you, for example, you are not a business coach, so you don't help people make more money, straightly business speaking, how can you show other people again your value and become a top-end coach in these other industries? For example, Artie is in the health industry, as a health coach. So what would you suggest, for example, in this kind of industry?
For me, I do lots of business coaching, but as a life coach, so slightly different approach. I'm not looking at balance sheets. I don't look at any reports. I don't go and talk to the staff, look at the accounting and anything like that, right? So it's about working with the mindset of an entrepreneur and the work ethic of the entrepreneur, which will directly make the business more money. So in that sense, I'm a business coach, unless I work with coaches, and then it's a very much, when I have my apprentices, it's very much, building the business. Why? Because that's the business that I've built successfully. That's the only business I know inside and out. So I'm not going to be helping someone building a recruitment business if I don't know this business model. I can only work with an entrepreneur, not with the business per se, right? Yeah. But bear in mind that Tony Robbins, who's the highest paid life coach on the planet, he charges $1 million for 12 sessions. And it's not about business. It's about working with people for whom $1 million is as much as 10,000 for the people I work with.
Yeah,
that's the only difference. And trust me, if you are someone who can spend $1 million in coaching, you'll be very reluctant towards working with someone who only charges 10K. Because I'll be like, I can spend $1 million on coaching. Why would I spend 10K? The $1 million guy must be better than 10K guy. Even if he's not. I mean, Tony Robbins is a better coach than me. I will argue in terms of the customer care, client care, who's better, because I don't think he's checking on his clients and then he's
making phone calls and they say, hi, how you doing?
I don't think they have 24/7 access to him, 365 like my clients do.
Yeah, exactly.
The performance coach is the best in the world, right? We know that. So I hear what you're saying. It's probably relatively easier to make more money in business coaching, because you can look at the business and say, okay, so you're turning over 1 million right now. I'm going to help you to take it to 10 million. And all I want, you can give me a little bit of money now, 10,000, and then I want 10% of the increase beyond 1 million, which in this case is 1 million. Yes. You work with a guy for 12 months, you only get paid if it's above million. Even if you make him or her 2 million after a year, you still get 100,000. Yeah. So it's much easier to come up with this value proposition, because you say, hey, numbers are easy. That's why I said I want to be the highest paid life coach, because numbers everybody can count.
Yeah.
And everything else is subjective. Oh, he's the best coach. Oh, really? Based on I will never be the best coach for everyone. Like Tony Robbins, I wouldn't want to work with him. I mean, if he offers that for free, I would say fuck it. But it's not. I wouldn't spend not because I don't believe he's a great coach. It's just not my kind of person.
And exactly, so something that like going on the principle behind, because that's what I love doing in these shows, is just going on the principle behind the tactic, which is definitely delivering a great customer care.
Yeah.
So just being there for people, and you build this reputation, whatever market you're in, you are there for them, and you show that, and they will recommend you like crazy. And even if like they don't join your courses, they can see that, and they can recommend you to more and more and more people. Now, another thing that I'm saying is also looking at people that actually you want to spend time with. So look at, if I'm a client, I want to hire a coach because I want to spend time with this person.
Yeah.
And also, if we are thinking about why people would want to work with Tony Robbins, most of the time, they probably don't even need the coaching that Tony Robbins gives them. But what they need, and this is where they tap into, is the network. And this is something that if you want to become a high-end coach, then you must, that is a must. But in everything, like your network is your network. As I say that in every single book, right? And I'm going back to basic. Your network is your network. So if you're hanging around with people that are, for example, multimillionaires, or they're running successful companies, and you are in that environment,
Rubs off, yeah.
It rubs off, because people will want to work with you because you can either give access to your network if there is something which is relevant for them. So, for example, a recommendation from Tony Robbins, I'm spending $1 million from Tony Robbins, but Tony can maybe make a recommendation that is worth $100 million for me, just for one single phone or one single recommendation.
That's it.
Like an endorsement is priceless. So you want to look at when you position yourself as a high-end coach, who are the people you hang around with? And the question that I have for you is, Michael, because I know that you're very well connected, like you're, like I see where you're going out with and the people that you hang around with. So I'm here, I'm just starting my coaching business, and maybe like myself, when I started, I had 100 pound, that's it, 100 pound me, 100 pound Ben. And like today we are in the office. You like the office? Like, look at this bed.
Wow.
This is what we have, 2 floors office, and we just got the keys today.
Wow.
3 years ago, we started 100 pound me, 100 pound my business partner.
When is the warming party at this office?
We got it with Warren Ryan together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and actually we are looking for with the other 5 people to work with us here. And what we have, look at this stuff, professional lighting and green screen and stuff already set up to show our videos. 2 floors, private boardroom and private meeting room upstairs.
Which area of London?
Is Rotherhithe.
Where is that?
Canada Water. 10 minutes from London Bridge.
Yeah, I know this area. Yeah.
So we are actually looking for about 5 people to come in and work with us in the space, so we can just like having like the top coaches here. But so as I said, it's like, okay, I'm coming. I stopped bragging about myself now. I've done that enough. So as I said, I'm here. I'm struggling. I started with 100 pound. How do I build my network? How do I build my network of influential people? Would a millionaire come and talk to me or be with me? What would you suggest? What was your strategy? How did you apply that? Because you were really good in that. You were really good in that.
Right. So that's a good question. So I remember when I first started coaching, I think it was around a year after I kind of built the website, a year and a half even. And I was making a few £1,000s a month, but I was investing a lot in my business, or everything I could in my business, and then the rent and bills, etc. There was this point that I didn't have enough money to pay the rent. And I remember at that point, I didn't know anyone I could borrow, I think it was £700 from. So imagine, there was nobody that I knew who had this amount of money as kind of spare that I could borrow. So it ended up with my mother borrowing, because she didn't have it at the time, from her friend. That saved me, that I paid it back, whatever. And when I think about it, it's only been, 3 years ago? And right now, when I think about the amount of people I could borrow £700 from, £7,000 from, even 70, not to borrow, but I need an investment of 70K, I can just take my phone and make a few phone calls. And if I have a good business proposition, I'll get a yes within half an hour on my phone. So, but to answer your question, by the way, Simone, you are on the list of. I need £700 to be careful. 7,000.
How much, Michael?
With this,
I'll make the transfer.
With this shiny new office, you know.
I'll make the transfer. Tell me.
My lawyers will contact you tomorrow. My PA's PA will contact you tomorrow. Okay.
But your PA's.
Come on, you know. So my network grew twofold. First of all, through building a stronger and stronger brand reputation, etc., and attracting more successful people. So I would say at least half of my network, probably half of my network, maybe 60%, is the people I've worked with. So the directors and the lawyers and the CEOs and all of these people. I'm not necessarily friends with all of them, but if I call them, they will answer my phone, right? Because I've changed their fucking life. So this you create, as you know, Simone, and coaches listening. Once you create this bond with someone through coaching, it's there. Like, you know, even if it's 6 or 12 sessions, it's there. And we become friends very quickly with people. Because why? Because we get close with people that we get close to people we say things to, we don't say to anybody else. Yeah. And obviously being a life coach, people tell me all sorts of shit that they don't tell anybody else. From the hookers that they have sex with, to the doubts that they have, to the experiences from the past that they're ashamed of normally, especially the guys when they talk to their friends in the bank or in the gym. They don't want to say things like that because they don't want to look like a pussy, you know? So they keep this stuff, they play tough, they play confident, and they come here and they go, okay, so actually I'm acting like this and I feel like this. Because they're not gonna fucking lie to me because I'm like a priest, right? A life coach is like a priest. You're not going to lie to a priest or a doctor unless you're stupid, right? So I get to know these people on a different level. Or somebody liked it and somebody went, I'm trying to learn this blab. I'm learning this blab.
It's like
Give
people
me more. Come on.
Like, woo! Pop them up, guys. Pop them up. Turn the room. Just give us some prop. Pop them up. Pop them up. Everyone, right now.
Guys don't worry, but girls.
Tap on the screen. You just have to click the screen. Click the screen with your mouse, or yeah, go for it.
Michael, can I jump in 1 second? We've got a question here asking top advice you can give to become a high-end coach when starting out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, back to your question. I'll tell you Simone first, if that's okay. So
okay, we finished the question here, and then we're gonna answer. And Jonathan, if you want to pop in live, it will be great to see you live. So when let me know just if you want to come live. So let's finish this question here on building your network.
Yeah,
that's a great conversation, actually.
For any of you with the smartest questions, you better face me first. I want to see your face when asking smartest question, a challenging question. I'm not afraid of you. I'm Polish. It's rough.
I can call my cards in.
I can call my boys. So come back to your question, Simone. So organically, I've built a network after working with 400 people, and especially in the last year, 2 years, 3 years, lots of them are very successful or are very successful. So that's one thing. And then what I did was I did a Key Person of Influence program, which is a business coaching program run by now my personal coach and good friend Daniel Priestley, who's a phenomenal entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And through that network, through doing that program and interacting with lots of people through that program rather, I built another 100, 200 great contacts.
That's brilliant. So something just hello Jonathan, welcome in. Just to wrap up this before we give you, how you doing, buddy? Just before we give you the word, Jonathan, just sort of like wrapping up on this is just going back to the principle. How do you build your network is actually a great ways to work with someone that is really already in the industry that can make those connections. Because not every coach will open their connections with you, because remember, is their reputation at stake. So if I make a recommendation, so for example, I'll just give an example of a massive screw up that I did. A dear friend of mine, Elliot Kay, that you know is a great coach in the UK, he couldn't go for a speaking gig. And he said, Simone, can you please go? And what happened, I worked until 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't put my alarm clock. I didn't wake up, and I didn't go there. It was a corporate gig, very well paid, and I just didn't go. So now let's put it in reverse. For me, I was feeling shit because it was the first time something like this happening. I'm always early, always like delivering as much as I can. And I was just feeling terrible, not only because now the relationship between me and Elliot was broken, but also because now what happens, the credibility, Elliot's credibility gets down because they say, oh, you're recommending me one that doesn't even come? Because they don't know me. Like, they don't know me personally. They just see from the perception they have of me, said, I gave you a gig, it didn't come. So right now, let's now reverse it. If I am someone and I say, okay, I can make a connection with a multimillionaire or in my network, or I can make a connection with this guy, I need to know that you are a reliable person. So first of all, if you are a coach, if you are being coached by someone, make sure first you do before even asking to access their network, is work your ass off. Show that you're punctual every time. Show that you're able to deliver. Show that you're the kind of person that actually will make the most from the opportunity. Because some people just good at talking, right? And we've all got them where I can make an introduction and they would just not make use of them, and then my name would go down. So I'm just like giving it was just a very vulnerable moment of sharing, but I'm a human being. I screw up.
Because usually people only talk about the successes, and we all have you know, situations like that happening to us, and it's so much easier to talk about, you know, the girls that did say yes to dating us and the clients that did say yes to working with us, not so much about the ones that say no, and actually the majority says no on both counts, you know. But it's so much easier to talk about the successes, right?
Yeah, so it's something that, so guys, make sure that if you're great tip on building your network, as we said before, work with someone which is in a very similar industry or can have a good network, spread them out, do the work with them, make sure that you're on point every single time, you do what they say, you're a great client, and then they will open up their books like this. Show the results, show that you're a reliable person. They will give the opportunities for you because they will make it. They will want to do that. They see that you deserve that. So now we have a question from Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. Good. Yourself?
I'm extremely well. It's great. It's great. Like finally to see each other. It's like we just see each other a lot on Facebook. And what's your question, Johnny?
My question is, what's top one advice you could give to become a high-end coach when starting out?
First of all, Jonathan, good to finally meet you. I know you are friends with me on Facebook. And I just ask you to stop sending these love letters, okay? It's never going to happen. Sorry.
Yeah. Can't resist.
You're a good-looking guy, but I'm happy to swing the other way. So just you stop that. I'll answer every question you have today. So something that Jim Rohn talks about, if you want to be successful, you have to become a successful person first, right? So he talks about how, for those of you that don't know Jim Rohn, check him out. He's the best out there, in my opinion. Old school kind of guys. Jim Rohn, or R-O-H-N. He talks about how the level of success can never far exceed your level of personal development. If your level of personal development is here, and you want success on this level, forget it. Forget it. Even if you win the lottery, so that's kind of success, financial success, you're going to lose this money because you are not a millionaire yet. This is a millionaire mindset. This is a poor person mindset. You win millions, after a year, you lose it all. Because you're dumb. You're financially dumb. And you're going to get this money and spend it on shit, make poor investments, give it to people that will not give it back to you, etc. So I'm using this analogy to answer your question. If you really want to service high-end people, you need to become a high-end person first. And it's tricky because, like, okay, so how do I become high-end person without having high-end income? So it's kind of like you pretend a little bit. You always position yourself, or you aim to position yourself as 10, 20, 30% better than you are already. Some clients of mine would tell you that I'm a millionaire. Not because I ever told them that. Not because I ever told anyone that. I'm not a millionaire. And you can go to a company's house website and see how much money I make. I'm a limited company. But it's the impression that I make. It's the flat I moved into, which I, by the way, don't own, but people don't know that. If they ask me, I say openly, how much do you pay? I tell them how much I pay. It's not a secret, you know? But they make an assumption, oh my God, if he lives in this flat, he must be rich. He's fucking Savile Row in Mayfair. The most expensive area on the monopoly in this country, right? When you play Monopoly, you have the hotels, as I found out. And it is expensive, but it's not that expensive. It's not as expensive as people think, right? So it's not because I'm thinking about it, like how to cheat this, how to lie. It's not about lying. It's about creating the aura of success, creating this aura of high end. And make no mistake, when I had the first high-end prospect sitting in front of me, my now three-year long-term client I've been working for 3 years, who is running for a president of Peru in 2021. It's a great guy. He was my first very high-end prospect I had. I was fucking nervous because I was like, fuck. It was 3 years ago. This guy's the chairman of a big bank group. The presidential thing is a new idea. So he knows everyone. He's neighbors with Abramovich. He's friends with every oligarch out there, every sheikh out there. He's friends with Putin, not like close friends because Putin's an asshole, obviously. But he knows Putin well, and he's very, very well respected. So because it was my first contact as a coach, as a human being in general, with someone so successful, I was a little bit nervous. But guess what? A couple of sessions later, I wasn't nervous at all. And then last year, he didn't show up for a session. I told him off. I said, listen, I don't care who you are, how much money you make. If it's going to happen again, I will drop you. And ever since, he calls me his advisor. He calls me his friend because I didn't have the fear. And I didn't have the fear for a while now, but I showed I didn't have the fear. Yeah. So after working with this guy, then I had another prospect. So I was still a little bit nervous. A guy who runs a law firm here in Mayfair, the whole fucking building, American company. I was still a little bit nervous because I thought, oh my God, he's twice my age. He's a multimillionaire. He's an art collector. He's so posh. He's so British, and but it's like dating women. If you're a guy and you're like, oh my God, a model. But you date a couple of them, then you're in a relationship with one of them. It's like, oh yeah, she's just a pretty girl. What's the big deal? Because I promise you, the model and the chairman, at the end of the day, when they open up, when you hear them speak, they have exactly the same fears and desires as everybody else. It's just on a different level. Instead of worrying about paying the rent, they're worrying about not making enough money to buy his business partner out, Or his worry is, I will not be elected as a president. There's a different level of worries, but I'm telling you from my experience, both with models and high-end clients, they have the same problems. They're exactly the same. In fact, vast majority of models are extremely insecure about their looks because they compare themselves with the most beautiful women on the planet. And these guys on this super high level, they compare themselves with other guys on the same level. And they have insecurity. This presidential candidate is an ongoing problem with his wife. Everything on the business level, he's a god. But there are problems at home. That's why he came to me in the first place 3 years ago. And his wife doesn't give a fuck that he's a chairman of the bank and he wants to run for a president. She's just a woman, and this is a normal relationship. And he has normal problems like everybody has had as well on the top of that. So coming back to your question, the most important thing is not putting these high-end people, whether we're talking about high-end in terms of beauty, high-end in terms of the status, high-end in terms of the financial level. The most important thing is not to treat them any different to the way we treat other people, because they're used to them. And let me tell you, if you dating, whether you're a girl or a guy, if you're dating and you meet this person, oh my God, they're so good looking, they're out of my league. They're gonna smell it, and it's gonna be very unattractive, especially for a woman. If the guy goes like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous, forget it. Even if she liked him, and it happened to me in the past many times, even if she liked him initially, like forget it. It's just like everybody else. You're gonna be kissing up to me, you're gonna be doing whatever I want, and you'll never say no to me. That's not cool. And the same with prospective clients. Obviously, a guy like that, he needs a strong coach who he thinks can handle him. And even though I was doubting whether I can handle him, I still handled him. So I was trying to hide. There was some nervousness, but it wasn't a visible nervousness. How do I know that? If it was, he would never hire me. Because this guy can work with fucking Tony Robbins if he wants to. Why would he hire Michael Serwa, age 30 or whatever, 29 at the time? So he must have felt that I'm strong enough as one of the characteristics, and therefore he can work with me because he thinks that I might tell him things that other people don't have the balls to tell him. Because this is what happens when you reach the high level, when you're on high end of any industry. You have very, very few people that can tell you the truth, that can tell you what really is going on.
Just behind you to support you and get what you want them, cheer you, clap for you.
Yeah.
So, and I think that is a great point, because for example, what you said is about creating the aura of being successful. It's not about deceiving, but it is about people in this industry. They look at you, they look at the life that you live, they look at what you do, because somehow they want to be like you, or they want to have similar successes, or
you have basically.
Or so, exactly. That's the kind of where this industry is based. So, for example, I remember when I started my coaching business, I had almost no money again. But the first investment I made was an office space in central London. I was at the Grand, and it was about, I think, £2,000 for the year, which I couldn't afford, but I paid for it anyway. And then I didn't have any money. But because of that office space, I was meeting my clients there. So it's about breaking down every single barrier that there is between your clients and doubting about your credibility and how great you are. Because as soon as you have that connection and that respect and the trust, that unfortunately it comes from the first impression, because they don't know you yet. But that's the first impression that they have. So if their first impression is, and you don't need to tell how much it was that. You don't need to tell anything. You need to tell their bank account, because you are not, what I've realized, that I'm not the money that I have in my bank account. If I always have to be the money in my bank account, my self-esteem will be fluctuating compared to my savings or to how many sales I make. But I am what I'm creating. I am the results that I'm giving. What I'm doing is just doing my best to show people that they can trust me in working with that. And the space that you have, that's also one of, for example, one of the reasons that where we got this office. I could just keep working from an hotel room. It's free. I don't pay for it. But right now we want to create the first office spaces just for coaches, speakers, and trainers, where we have a private meeting rooms. We have the green screen where they can shoot their videos. Why is that? First of all, I'm passionate about that. I'm like, I think it's needed. I think it's freaking cool. And I love spending time with the people. They are my friends. And also is because it all adds up to the brand, as we were talking before. So I think that you made a really, really great point, Michael, on that.
So just to kind of, as a little summary, Jonathan, to service the high end of the market, we need to be in a process at the very least of becoming the high end of the market. I genuinely like all things high end. Unfortunately for me, it starts with women, because they spend because a lot of money. They're very demanding and high maintenance. The places I go to, the hotels I stay at, so I'm not saying that I have a similar lifestyle already as my high-end client, because they have more money than me, so they can afford more. But they feel, they can sense that I'm going where they are in terms of my spending habits, and they won't be able to relate to you if you say like, oh, spending £25 for a dinner in a restaurant is craziness, and he spent this much for a breakfast. He won't be able to relate to you. So it's about creating this illusion, and like Simone said, it's not deceiving, it's just being smart, it's being a marketer. Because you can deliver, but you still need to make them become your clients first, right? So you need to still sell. Like, I still need to sell. Nobody knocks my door, it's like, Michael Serwa, just because you're Michael Serwa, I will work with you. How much? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter any amount of money. It happens very, very rarely. and only with people that saw me speak or heard about me from somebody else. Nobody comes and sees my website, knocks on my door. I still need to sell my coaching. So the higher end I became, the more powerful I became as a person through my own personal development and through the coaching I received and keep receiving, the more I can ask for with my fees and the higher end of the market I can tap into. So it starts, to answer the question, it starts with you. You need to work on yourself. So I work on myself a lot, even before becoming a life coach. And I've been working on myself ever since becoming a life coach.
That's awesome. Jonathan, do you have what are your thoughts around that? And the question is, what can you apply from the great answer of Michael?
What can I apply from that? Just working for yourself as well. Yes.
In particular, in what? Like, we're talking about working yourself, but I think that when someone says working on yourself is generic, what I love about the people that come in and receive an answer is to say, okay, that's what I'm committing to do. I'm something specific that I'm doing, and I think that can give me the leap. So even if I know I'm getting you like on the spot right now, but that's what I love to do. That's why I have people.
That's why people hate you and love me. I understand.
Yeah, exactly. So don't work with me. Work with Michael is better. But so what are something that you can take away? Says, okay, I'm going to do this.
Well, I'll be creating my own brand and creating that aura that you said. Giving my I'll be creating my presence, so you'll be seeing me around very often. Maybe not as much as Warren, but I'll try to get there.
I was talking to Warren today because we had the meeting for the management of the office, how we're going to run the office, and I said, mate, sometimes it's just thinking about unfollowing you, and I'm like on that unfollow button, like, shall I don't want to see another post anymore, and then I'm like, no, I love him, I cannot do that. It's like, yeah.
But yeah, I'll be creating my presence.
Awesome.
And create that aura, so you'll be hearing and seeing me around very often.
I'm keeping you accountable on that, mate.
No worries. I see you on in March, early March.
Yeah, we see each other on we're gonna be on the 5th of March, I think. It's gonna be the 5th.
Yes.
Okay, John, do you have any other question you would like to ask Michael?
That's great. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's awesome. See you, buddy.
Looking forward to your next letter.
Okay, so, and there is one more thing, because I think that some people right now, they can go, and I'm just like putting my black hat on, which is, so are you saying to say things that are not true to create this kind of aura? Because right now there is a big trend in the coaching games for some coaches or internet marketers in particular to claim they are making millions, to claim they are making a certain amount of money that actually they are not making. And I think that's not acceptable. You cannot create an aura telling lies. The fact that you bought a space where to live or where to run as a company, it doesn't, like, you're not lying. You bought it, or you're living in a place, or you are paying the rent, or maybe you got a crazy deal that no one knows about, like this office. But it's like, what is where is the line? Where do you think is the line for creating this aura and still like being congruent and being honest with other people? Where to say, I'm actually making £50,000 or £100,000 a year for coach, and you're not doing that. So where is the line?
Yeah, so big difference. I was talking about positioning yourself as 10, 20, 30% more successful than you actually are. So when I was at £20 an hour a few years ago, I wasn't positioning myself on making thousands, because it's like ridiculous. I didn't look like I was making thousands. I was wearing the same clothes all the time. I was living in Southeast London in a very modest flat, and etc. So, but 10%, 20%, my client didn't need to know. If you don't tell your clients that you don't know how you're gonna pay the rent, it's not the lie. It's not a lie. So that's the kind of truth and line I'm talking about. It's like going on a job interview and just giving the smart answers, not necessarily always 100% accurate answers. It's not lying. It's called being smart at the interview process. And jobs, unfortunately, jobs get the people that are the best at interviews, not only the best at doing the job. Your job is to sell coaching, and you know that once you sell it, how many times you coach someone and you fucked it up? How many people died on you as you were coaching? How many people got back to you and said, listen, the worst money I've ever spent? How many people said to you, oh my God, I'll be better off going to another Tony Robbins event for the 5th time in a fucking row? It never happens. Why? Because we know what we're doing. So the coaching is the easy part. Yeah. In order to sell it, I'm not talking about tricking people into it, because I never go that way. And I can tell you, you can catch me on my bullshit. If you ever see me tricking anyone into anything, call me out on my bullshit that I said on the 25th of Feb.
But that's why you're here on this interview, because in this interview I'm not interviewing everyone, just interviewing the people that are walking their talk, and so is really fascinating to see what is, as you're saying, is just giving the smart answer. And if someone asks you a question, then be honest with that.
Yeah, and
because if someone doesn't ask you, they don't need to know. But don't claim something is not true, and it's something that I've been guilty to do in the past.
I never ever was telling people, oh, I've made this much, I've made that much, unless they ask me. But the thing is, being a limited company, everybody can go and check. I can't lie about how much I make, because even if I wanted to, I don't want to. I don't need to, because everybody can go, and within minutes you can see how much money I've made, my company has made, and I'm my company basically. How much money my company has made over the last few years. Mm-hmm. Everything is there, it's all recorded. I pay my taxes to the Queen. I'm a good friend to the Queen. She lives nearby. I had to be a good friend. She's a neighbor. But,
did you get a tea with the Queen? Did she invite you already?
Yeah, she knows I'm not much of a tea person. I said, listen, Elizabeth, why don't you come in for a champagne?
Hey Betty. Hey Betty.
I'm a little bit too old for that. I said, listen, I'll make you feel young again. That's what I do. So it's about, not, you see, as you said, Simone, you used the phrase walking your talk. I said, I walk my talk. It's not about telling people how good you are and what you have. It's about showing it. Like, everyone can say, I've made 100K, 200K last year. And people come to my flat and they say, do you live here? I said, yeah. And it's a very minimalistic design, but you can tell that someone lives here.
I love it. Everyone should go in to visit Michael's place. I will actually. Do you want to give the address out to the world so you can?
On my website. Yeah, on my website. We can bring flowers anytime. Why?
And he appreciates champagnes and flowers.
What?
So make sure you bring a bottle of Laurent Perrier or Crystal, Dom Perignon.
GTeX bus. You hire the bus. You bring everybody. It's like a zoo.
So when you ring the buzzer, then show the bottle of champagne first before.
Yeah. I'll let you.
They will let you in.
I mean, buddy, And I am on Monday morning, like I don't think so. So it's, you see, we all lie. Everybody lies. I've never met a single person, the nicest person I've ever. Everybody lies sometimes. It's a part of our psychological makeup. But there's a lie and there is a lie. If I'm on a date and the girl asks me, so how many dates you've been on this week, because she sees me quite confident or whatever, I'm not going to tell her that she's my second date today already. So I'm going to lie to her. I'm going to say something like, you mean today or this week? I'm going to give some bullshit answer. So he said, oh my God, Michael is a liar. Yes, in that respect, I am a liar. But if the client, a prospective client, will look me in the eye, or even without looking me in the eye, say, do you think you can help me? I will never, ever say yes unless I'm 100% convinced that I can. Yeah, so that's the difference, So in certain circumstances, we all lie, and that's it's normal. Even my mother, who's an angel, lied to me, and I caught her lying to me a few times on a very, very small scale things. So what? It doesn't make her a liar. Because I know that I can trust her, because when it comes to really important things, and the same with you, Simone, with my coaches, my associates, when it comes to big stuff, important stuff, I can ask the question and I know I'm going to get the answer. And how do you build this trust? By saying things like Simone said 10 minutes ago, because if somebody has the balls to be honest about the fuck up like that, he won't have the reason to lie about something else. And if you always everything is how you, everything is great.
It's about the integrity that you have with your
integrity. That's the word.
I just give another example. For example, there are a lot of people that use false scarcity to get people into their programs. Scarcity sells, and in particular right now is, I think, overused. So someone says, "Oh, I have 5 places," and then actually they get 15 clients from there.
Yeah.
Then it's not ethical. So actually, I put a Facebook post out and I said, I'm looking for 4 places. I have the last 4 places for our courses. I had about 9 inquiries, and the first 4 places were gone in about 5 phone calls. Like everyone, like bought immediately.
Knocked it out, yeah.
And then I had all the other people that were just like in this waiting list. So what I did, I went out in my community and I said to the guys that actually bought the program, I gave them the choice. I said, guys, this is the situation that we are doing. We have other 6 people that would love to be in. And either I can say, I stick to my word. So if I said 4, it's 4. But then I think, okay, now there are about other 6 people that want to get in. What if I get those 6 people in and I invest this money to get someone, an assistant that can help me out handling the organizational stuff? And so I can spend more time coaching you guys because they're part of a group program. So I can have less time in on business doing the stuff, but more helping you guys. What do you think? Shall I open it up or shall I keep it closed? I'll leave you the choice. And Artie was there when I asked the question.
Yeah.
So it's about being transparent. I run my company in a completely transparent way with every single client, and I want them to. I don't want to come from a place where they can, they see, oh, but actually you said they were 4 spaces, and then I bought because of that, and then now you're opening up other 6 times. I gave it a choice. So all of them, they said, no, go with that, open. So I opened these other 6 places. But it's the first time I've done something like that, and I've done with the permission of the client that bought those 4 places. So, and I think that's what sometimes is missing in this industry, this complete openness, transparency, and in any industry. Yeah, that's true.
In general,
So I know we are wrapping up now. We have one last question from Artie. Artie, do you have any question you would love to ask? Because Artie, what she's doing, she's going to write an amazing blog post. Then you, Michael, can share to everyone, and everyone can share with everyone. So we're going to put the video on. We're going to create a podcast from the interview, and also she's going to write a blog post on, to put on the website. So Artie, do you have any question for Michael?
I would just say, is there any sort of, do you have a sort of 3 or 5-step procedural process that you use with each client when you're doing the consultation?
Consultations, yes. Mm-hmm. Consultations are very structured. Just structured. Coaching process is not, because it will look differently with every person I work with. Consultations, would you like me to tell you what the steps are?
If you just, we are wrapping up, so just give it them very quickly. But we might get you up for another interview where we can discuss more in depth about how do you run those consultations. Just teasing.
Just want to tell me okay. So people come in, small talk. You always have to This is what I do. Small talk. It's normal. How you've been? Where did you travel from? How are you today? Oh, do you have? Oh, wow. What kids? What are the names of your kids? Whatever. Maximum 5 minutes. You don't want to go too long for that because they didn't come to you to chat about weather, right? But you don't want to go okay, so you need coaching. What's your problem, right? Because we're like, whoa, you want to just be human. Before you become a professional, be human, right? And then what I do, I assess where they are in their life after they briefly tell me why they're here. I assess where are they in their lives. And one of the forms I post on Facebook, before and after. If you add me on Facebook, you will see a new form, because I had the last session with a client today, how he went from 5 out of 10 to 8 out of 10 on the happiness level. So we do this exercise, and I ask them this very simple question: what would you like to get out of the coaching process? And then for that, they use this exercise that we just did that shows them where are they exactly in their lives. And then I say, okay, so let me tell you how I see this working. That's the kind of program I would suggest. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. This is how often we're going to see each other. This is the access you're going to have to me. Do you have any questions? So all of this is 45 minutes, maybe 60 minutes, depending on how long we go into the details. And they always ask, how much is it? So I tell them these are the options, and I'll have myself as the highest fee for this particular program for that particular person, and I will have alternative options. So the fees that my associates charge, depending on the level of experience. So whoever comes to me for a consultation, if they're ready for coaching, if they're right for coaching, and I will always have a coach for them. So, for all of you, you might be charging £100 an hour, and you might have someone who says, okay, but I can only afford 50. So your decision, you can go below and work with them for 50, which is I encourage you to do if you're just starting or you've been only coaching for a year or two, not to say no to any fee. Or have someone, a trainee coach, a new coach, you can refer that person to and get some commission on that, and you decide what the commission is. So it's like you serve the person, you serve them because you provide them with a solution. You make some money for your time you just spend with this person, and that coach makes some money. So it's good for everyone. It's a perfect setup. Everybody benefits from it.
That works incredibly well, and in particular, I know that all the affiliate and all the trainee coaches that actually Michael has, and most of them are dear friend of mine. They are incredible. So it doesn't. It's not about recommending someone just
no.
because of the money.
You're talking about branding and recommending the right person.
You recommend the right person because they know that they can do, like, it is your client. Anyway, is your client. So you're recommending to them because they know that that they are going to do a brilliant job, if not as equally good as your, maybe even better than yours. It's like, I know that this guy is amazing, and I recommend you to this person. You are in safe hands. It's cheaper than me. You not have access to me or to my network or to that, but you get an incredible service. You will transform your life. So because at the end of the day, like right now, we are always talking about business, we are talking about money, but we are in this industry to make an impact. We are in this industry to change lives. We are in this industry to help other people living their purpose. And now these are different ways on how we can do that, different price tag that we put in there. But when you have the heart in the right place, people see it. When you're just in there for the money, people see that too. So most important thing, have the heart in the right place, and then follow the different steps that Michael is suggesting or other people are suggesting, whatever is right for you. And this is why we are here. So guys, thank you incredibly very much. Now, Michael, I know that people can book like a free consultation with you if they want to. So where can people find more about you and really get that support if they want to, or connect with you?
Guys, I'm really not here today to sell you anything. I don't have a special offer only for 2 people that sign up in the next 30 seconds. None of this. But I would love to connect with you. I'm particularly big on Facebook. Simone might confirm. I love my Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, add me on Facebook. Add me on Twitter if you're on Twitter. Add me on YouTube if you're on YouTube. Add me on LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn. And you can find
YouTube, the YouTube channel. You have an incredible show that now is finished, unfortunately. But are you going to do another set of episode of interview for the Michael Serwa show?
I'm not planning to. So Simone, you got it on time. You didn't miss out.
We did an incredible interview, and you can go. Actually,
look up Simone.
I got it. They got me a couple. It was super fun, and we had cufflinks. They got me the Italian cufflinks, which they are amazing, and the conditioner for my perm, so I can keep
working.
Mate, it's like my fiancé, saying, "Oh, your hair are so soft now." It's like, you got to thank Michael for this.
That she owns me her most attractive friend as a thank you for that. Exactly. That's how it.
Okay, I'll put you in touch with her for.
In Poland, it's normal. That is normal.
It's awesome. So, hey, guys, so connect with Michael you can go on YouTube, you can go on LinkedIn, Facebook. He's also doing now you started on Facebook Live. I saw you're live today. I check you out. So you can connect with Michael. Make sure if you want to book a session with him, I'm there to endorse him because I've known a lot of people that have been working with him. They got incredible results. And these are the people that I've seen their life transform or the business transformed. Like one of our dear friends is Raghav. It's like working with you, he just made a massive, massive transition in his life. Like he started from completely quitting up his full-time job to his full-time coaching practice and many, many more. So guys, make sure you have a conversation with Michael. well worth it. Well worth it. Highly recommended.
Finish answering a question. If you Google my name, the first thing you're going to see is my website, and from my website you can access my book. It's on Amazon called From Good to Amazing, and you can access all my social media platforms. So my website is the best place to go to, and my phone number is there. You can call me. My email address is there. I'm very accessible. My PA will not answer my phone. I'll answer my own phone. So if you want to have a chat, call me as well. We can talk about anything.
And also, if you're looking for a boyfriend, also Michael is free. He's on the market.
On the market.
And Michael, we're going to see each other again at the Fearless Speaking Academy on Sunday, right? I got to MC you again on Sunday. How you doing, man?
Please. I promise to be inappropriate again, Simone.
Thank you very much. And I promise you not to put someone beside someone with a big gun, so you don't get to give yourself complex.
Seriously, guys, I was on the.
Oh gosh, I look forward to seeing it.
Artie, you're coming. Oh, Artie is coming as well on Sunday.
I was on the panel, and Simone sat me next to the guy. I was so proud of myself because I go to the gym and have a little bit of a muscle tissue, and he sat me down next to this big black muscular guy looking like a fucking athlete. The heart of gold with the heart of God. But the guy was like, his arm was the size of my head. I was like this. I was like, what the? Out of everyone he could sit me down next to, he sat me down next to that guy.
Oh gosh.
But it was amazing. Okay, right, guys. Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much, Artie. You are here at Explode Your Coaching Business Show live every Thursday on Blab. And we are going to create, for example, if you are watching the recording here on iTunes, on the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And always make sure that you live with purpose. Thank you very much, guys. See you next time.
Use the call. Thanks, guys.